Hey everybody, how's it going? So my name's Zach Pritchard, and it's been quite a while since I've made a video. I'd say about a year ago, I started making videos, and I was sort of documenting my roads through recovery. I've now been clean for exactly 1 year and 1 month. And I definitely did not do it on my own. However, it did take an incredible amount of self-will to get to this point. So I thought maybe I would check in. I've noticed that I've actually gained quite a few new subscribers, and I do kind of have two different paths that I follow on my YouTube channel. One is cryptocurrency, and then the other is my road to recovery from drug addiction. If it helps, I can, let you know exactly which drugs it was that I was addicted to. Pretty much, well, you name it, I was doing it. I was never an IP user. I did smoke heroin, smoked crack, did cocaine, and smoked crystal meth. And those were like the four major ones that I was doing on a daily basis. Always had to have them. And at the time, I simply could not imagine my life without him. It had been so long since I had been clean that I had forgotten what life could truly be like, without drugs. And I had really gotten to a point where I just figured, like, this is my plot in life. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, and nothing can save me from it, and nothing's going to intervene in order to get me out of the slump that I was in. And when I was thinking that, I was pretty much okay with that. I really felt like, I can do this for forever. I ended up getting into a pretty bad accident. I almost lost my life, and I've made a video showing the pictures of the accident. And maybe I'll make another video showing some of the pictures, but I was driving a 5-ton tow truck with a flat deck and ended up rolling the truck off the side of the road. I landed on the hood, slid across the ground for a couple of telephone poles, and then came to a stop. When I came to a stop, the cab of the truck had completely crushed in and had folded me in half in the process somehow. So I was folded in half down near the foot pedals of the truck, and I broke my collarbone, crushed my chest plate, fractured 3 vertebrae in my neck. I was actually, surprisingly enough, only in the hospital for about 2 weeks, but even just the recovery from that took, it's been a year and 1 month, and I'm still recovering today. My shoulder's still very sore. My ankle and legs are both still quite sore. But it was that day, I woke up a couple days later anyways, and when I woke up and I realized what I had just lived through, I made the decision that maybe now would be the best time to choose a new path in life. And from that day forward, I really started making some changes in my life. The first thing I did was I got on Suboxone. It's an opioid replacement therapy, and I'm still on it today, and I owe the beginning of my recovery to that opioid replacement therapy. It gave me the ability to get off of heroin or opiates when I didn't have the strength to do it myself. So if you do know anybody that's dealing with addiction problems with opiates, I strongly suggest talking to a doctor about maybe getting on an opioid replacement therapy, at least to get the ball rolling. You don't have to stay on it. You can do it for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 10 years. There's no real time limit. It's just whenever you feel comfortable and safe, and that wasn't the only thing. I went to the Phoenix Society. Let's see if I got a picture. Or, where are we here? Okay, so I went to the Phoenix Society in Surrey. I did a 90-day stay, and they taught me a new way to live. The time that I spent there was invaluable, or it was just, I would have never learned what I learned there just trying to be out in the world, doing it on my own. And they really did show me that there was more to life than what I was currently, what was currently available to me. They got me to start thinking differently. Basically, the Phoenix Center was like a cruise ship for drug addicts. It really was. It was a one-stop shop. You can go from being homeless and drug addicted to owning your own house within 5 years of being in the Phoenix Center, which is absolutely amazing. And I mean, you can come to this website, phoenixsociety.com, and learn all about it, and it really did. It changed my life, and it's changed many other lives. I believe 30,000 people have been through that program and have successfully quit using. So those numbers are absolutely amazing. One of the tools that they taught me, and actually, so we'll go with the SMART meetings. And there's a website for Smart Recovery as well. And SMART was like a very psychological approach to recovery. So it's similar to NA, except without any of the religion, and more science-based and fact-based. And I clung on to, I latched onto that right away. I absolutely loved it. The next one was Refuge Recovery, and that was like it's a Buddhist approach to recovery. And there's it's sort of like a 12-step program, but it's the Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths. So if you're into Buddhism or anything like that, even if you're not, just the whole idea behind it is absolutely amazing, and I urge you to check it out. The next thing was, we learned about Wise Mind, and HALT is just I think that's something that everybody should sort of stop and think about whenever they get angry or upset, and that's, am I hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And that's simply just one small tool in the toolbox that they provide to you. Wise Mind is something to attain, and it could probably take you the rest of your life to get there. It's simply just learning how to think before you act. We spend a lot of our lives reacting to things, and Wise Mind definitely gives you the tools to think before you act, is really all it is. It's just learning how to stop, and not just that, but also being in the moment. I noticed, especially in my addiction, that I was never in the moment. I was always thinking that I needed to change something in order to make whatever I was doing better. Nothing was ever good enough. I could never be content. I was always unhappy, and I always knew in the back of my mind that there had to be a better way, and there had to be a way to achieve some sort of happiness. And it wasn't until I realized that it's my perception that needed to change. It wasn't anything else. It was just simply my perception. And that was just like an aha moment for me, and it's really helped. The next was existentialism. And existentialism basically for me, it's hard to explain what existentialism is, but you can go ahead and do your own research on that. But what it did for me was it's starting to help me open my eyes to the world. And I'm starting to recognize that I do have control over my reality. And I can make my reality what I want it to be. Not just that, but being in alignment with my true self. Learning how to feel with my body and not my mind. I recognize at times I make a decision based on something I've thought about instead of based on how I feel. And more often than not, as soon as I start thinking about something, I'll make the wrong decision. But if I just go with my gut instinct or the feeling that I have, more often than not, that's the feeling that's the solution to the problem. Is listening to my heart and not my mind. And again, do your own research, but existentialism has been absolutely amazing for me. Again, this is just the same picture. So, I mean, these are just a few things that I've used in order to help me stay clean for the last year. Since I've been back from the treatment center, I've gotten a job with a good wage, I've gotten my truck back, driving again. I have a new, more in-depth and beautiful relationship with my wife and children. Just so many things have changed in a positive way, right? When I first got clean, I spent hours online searching for whatever could help me. And I found meditation was huge. Meditation really helped a lot. Obviously the Suboxone. And also being connected to a community, which I just think is so incredibly important. You need to be involved. As soon as you get disconnected from a community, that's when you're by yourself and you're alone, and idle hands are the devil's plaything. It can be a scary place to be. So I think I'm going to start continuing on with making videos, and I just really kind of I'm throwing this one together really quick here, and I think I'll start putting a little bit more thought into my videos, and if there's something that I can say that might help another individual, then I want to do that. I want to give away what was so freely given to me, and that's totally an NA phrase, but it's so true. If I could help even one person by sharing my experience, that it would just strengthen my recovery. And if you're struggling right now and you're searching the internet to find the answers or find a way to help you overcome your addiction, which was the exact same thing I did, and maybe you come across this video, leave a comment in the comment section below, and reach out, and I'll get back to you. Absolutely. Also subscribe and like the video, and I just hope everybody has an amazing day. My life has gotten a million times better. It didn't happen overnight. The first 6 months of my recovery were so incredibly rocky and emotional, and I didn't know if I was coming or going, but I kind of just held on to my seat and went through all the different phases that you go through, and slowly but surely things started to make sense and life started to get better, and now I am where I am today. And at a year and 1 month, I'm still what's considered to be in early recovery, and it takes probably 2 years to retrain your brain, and that's just to begin to retrain your brain. I mean, it's going to take a long time. I didn't get here overnight, and I'm not going to get out of this overnight, right? So we have these neural pathways and neural loops that we've created in our addiction, and I need to erase those, and I need to build new neural pathways. And every time I make a decision that's the right decision, that's a good, positive decision that doesn't involve instant gratification, then I'm building a new neural pathway. And I always look for opportunities to, something like brushing my teeth every day, making my bed every day, not getting angry or upset in a moment that I normally would. Just little things like that, right? So again, I apologize for all the ums and ahs and stuff like that, but I really didn't plan this video. I just felt like I wanted to make a video today, and so this is what happens. So thank you very much, and you guys have a great day.